Hey, what is up? What is going on? This is Gumby, and welcome to another episode of OverAnalysis. And today we're going to look at a match between Kongdoo, Panthera, and Runaway on Numbani. So Runaway is on the attack. They're going to run a triple tank with 1 DPS. They're not running a Diva, so that means that they're not looking forward to what do you call this? Countering or controlling an enemy 76. Instead, they're just going with the Zarya Roadhog for added sustainability as well as pick potential. So that's pretty much it. Moving on to Kongdoo Panthera, which is a less straightforward team comp. We've got an Ana, Diva, Winston, Roadhog, Torbjorn, and Mei. So the idea here is that the Diva and the Winston will take advantage of the openness of Numbani's first point. As you can see, there's the second floor of Numbani, or at least the first point anyway, is very open. It stretches all the way around, and the mobility of Diva and Winston will let them go from this platform right here to the next. And the Mei pretty much walls off any the enemy team, so that means that they can counter-initiate. Kongdoo can counter-initiate more effectively, or at least pick off people more effectively beyond the wall. The Torbjorn will help DPS, so that means that any push that will come in from the main road, just somewhere down there, or out in the open, or up here, will be a bit slowed down because they need to walk and be careful and take out the turret first before they can advance and do whatever they want. Another thing to look at is how the ults of these characters, or heroes rather, of Kongdoo Panthera work out. So first of all, Mei's Blizzard will force people off the point because no one wants to stand in the blizzard and get frozen. Once Torbjorn pops his Molten Core, everything kind of slows down because you don't want to push into a Molten Core unless Torbjorn's the only one on the point, or at least the only one on the team remaining. Roadhog will literally push you off the point, or push you off, because that's how it works. In combination of Nano Boost, you get to kill people as you're pushing them off the point. Winston's Primal Rage will give him additional HP and mobility, so that means he can keep contesting as well as knock people off the point, maybe into Numbani's cliffs. And then we have Diva Self-Destruct, which will at the very least force people to take cover behind a solid object or behind a Reinhardt shield before completely going to the point. So basically, Kongdoo Panthera is doing whatever they can to stall any push, and should a push be successful from Runaway, they will have very little time to push that payload to the second point, so that there's a lot of pressure on Runaway, maybe for some mistakes. That's kind of the idea. So let's see how this pans out for them.
During Iconball, they do like to run very stout, tanky defenses with one support on these high-grid maps. So I guess I'm not too surprised to see where will they approach.
Okay, so it looks like they're going to tunnel. They fake going upstairs. So what's important is Kongdoo Panthera at this point has not revealed that they have a Mei. This is very important because the moment that you reveal you have a Mei, the entire strategy of Runaway becomes go to main, speed boost, go to the right, avoid the main wall completely. So what is this? Runner and Kaiser and Cox get walled off. They're going to get picked off, obviously, because Kongdoo Panthera focuses fire. There we go. Now, I don't agree with this charge. And I don't agree with that bubble, because that means that Haksal on Zarya is close by, which means that Kongdoo Panthera, after they're done with Kaiser, can probably turn around and punish Haksal for staying around. And it's also very important where they die, where Runaway dies on this part, because remember that Kongdoo Panthera is running a Torbjorn, and each and every single corpse that Runaway gives to them near the point is a bunch of scrap for Torbjorn, which he can turn into armor kits. Armor kits that he will give to Luffy. And Luffy will then become an almost impossible thing to kill because of all that armor. And if Bling lives for most of the match, which I think will happen, he will be able to make almost the entirety of Kongdoo Panthera nigh unkillable. So Runaway, after seeing that comp, decides to go for a dive. I don't really agree with this because number one, your D.Va and Winston get countered by Mei. Your Tracer and Genji are pretty much stymied, is the proper term, by what do you call this, Torbjorn's turret, because you don't wanna dive and then keep taking something like 20 damage every second from the turret. And not to mention that they can counter initiate using D.Va and Winston on your supports, and I think that's what we'll see in the next few seconds. So Runaway goes through main. They identify that the Ana is on the right platform, and of course they go for the dive. The supports of Runaway get separated. This is an easy kill. So both the supports of Runaway get killed at the price of 1 Ana, which means that this dive comp has no sustain. They have a fair amount of damage, but they have no sustain at all, so that means that this push is very much over. And to add insult to injury, this is not too far from the point where Torbjorn is, so that means that's a lot of free scrap, which means a lot of free armor kits.
As part of this, Runaway, they want to use this dive composition, but it is difficult against the amount of tankiness that Kongdoo has, as well as his turret.
And it's very tanky because of the Torbjorn. The Torbjorn is doing a lot of work. He's like the best character of the show. He's better than the salami and the bologna combined. And if you can understand that reference, I salute you. So they go for another dive, this time from the far left side, the outer rim. They don't really accomplish much. Well, they get the Mei, but that's not really impactful because Torbjorn has his molten core. Even without the turret, no one wants to push into that. Gets a few lucky kills. That's even more scrap, although not as much as before, admittedly enough. But then again, Torbjorn has been up for a very long time. He hasn't died this game so far, so that means that's still a lot of scrap inside his, I guess inventory is the proper term. It's the only term that I can think of. And so everybody on Kongdoo Panthera is very, very tanky, again. So Runaway initiates with the D.Va self-destruct, which forces the Mei wall, so that means that Runaway cannot be walled off. Stitch goes for, or tries to go for an assassinate on the Ana, on Luffy, but Pulse Bomb misses. And after that, there's just enough sustain on Panthera to just survive this long enough to get some impact kills. As you can see, Fissure manages to kill both of the supports from Runaway. So again, there's no sustain, which means that Runaway's push pretty much is over. I mean, as you can see, Luffy is still alive through all this, and still has armor, a bit of armor. Finally goes down, but really, you have a D.Va that has no mech, a Winston that's almost dead, as well as a Genji and a Stitch who pretty much have no cooldowns at this point, or no skills. All of their skills are on cooldown, and they're up against a Winston and a Mei. Mei can live forever, Winston can just jump in and kill basically both Stitch and Haksal, so this thing is done. That's still a lot of scrap for Torbjorn to pick up. So this is just going really, really bad for Runaway. Nope. rendering. We're gonna or buffering rather. Skip to that. So Runaway switches to a Farah, which is too late because the turret is no longer there. It's now moved to the lower right, just down the road. And what's more is that they have less than 30 seconds to do this, so that means about 2 pushes at most before Kongdoo just takes this. So, reviewing, Poxel was able to take care of the Roadhog, so that means that most of the damage from Kongdoo Panthera is gone. But in return, Fissure is able to pick off Cox with their tank. Well, it doesn't really impact that much, but that means that Haxal and the rest of the Runaway crew have no shielding from Zarya. And that's just an easy cleanup after that. So that's pretty much GG at that point. We'll skip to the push of Panthera. Panthera is running a triple tank. Oh no, wait, not a triple tank, a double tank, double support and double DPS. The DPS being Soldier and Farah. Farah is a nice space to work with because it's such a very open space, again, as I said. Runaway is, I think, going to go for a more standard triple tank, like their initial push, which makes sense because they want as much tankiness as possible. Oop. Another buffering. Skip that. Oh, just kidding. The Kongdoo Panthera is gonna go with the Hanzo, I think. Well, the game hasn't started, so I'm just gonna skip to where it does start. Seconds, 10 seconds. I guess this is good enough. So they're going to go with this Hanzo, I think. Oh, more buffering. There we go. Yep, they're gonna stick with the Hanzo. So this pretty much says let's pick someone off and then go off on that. That's Kongdoo Panthera's plan. So the hook's down from Cox. So that means that they can push in with relative safety. So as Fissure charges, the Ana, who has saved the biotic grenade at this point, throws it, gets a hit on both Kaiser and Cox. Well, is that? Yeah, Kaiser and Cox. And now their Ana cannot help them. All it needs is, yep, they got bursted down. Then, of course, there's no shield, so that means that the Farah can follow up with the Ana. And yeah, that's pretty much GG. Panthera will just clean up after that. You'll need to watch the entire thing. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, comments, leave them below. This is Gumby, and hopefully I'll see you next time.